This is a comprehension passage with a set of 4 questions. Let's look at the first question. What does the author consider to be unworthy of respect according to the passage above? According to the passage, when man looked around, he did not see anything that was worthy of respect, which means all that is visible is unworthy of respect. The correct answer would be option B. The question asks, which of the following options would make for an apt title for the passage above? Now, option D is the correct answer for this question, as the passage speaks of starting over and ending. It also talks about how life was created and how it will end, how man was created and how it will end. Hence, the cycle of creation is the best possible answer for this question. Option A talks about sins and virtue, which is only one part of it, where man defines what sin is and what virtue is. Death and his victims again falls only one part of the passage. Man, a clueless creature. In the passage, man has been talked of as someone who has knowledge, who was above the creatures that were created earlier. Although man also realized later, or does not realize, and has fallen into a circle where death and despair would eventually happen, but man is not the focus of the passage, and the clueless nature of man is not the focus of the passage. The focus of the passage is how life begins and ends, and how both birth and death are inevitable. Hence, correct answer is option D. Which of the following is closest in meaning to the word scaffolding as used in the passage above? Now, in the passage in the last lines, the author says, which rejects them can hope to stand only within the scaffoldings of these truths, only on the firm foundation of unyielding despair can the soul's habitation henceforth be safely built. So, when it says scaffoldings of these truths, he means shelter. So, the correct answer will be A. Now, option B says auspice, which means divine token. Option C and D imply defense and place of birth, and hence do not actually fit in the context. Next question asks, according to the passage, what can you infer about where is it that the residence of soul can be safely built? Let's look at the last paragraph to answer this question. Author says, in the last paragraph, the man is the product of cause which has no provision for the end that they were achieving, and his origin, his growth, his hopes and fears, his love and beliefs are but the outcome of accidental collations of atoms. No fire, no heroism, no intensity of thought and feeling can preserve an individual life beyond the grave. That all the labors of ages, all the devotion, all the inspiration, all the noonday brightness of human genius are destined to extinction in the vast death of solar system, and that the whole temple of man's achievements must inevitably be buried beneath the debris of universe in ruins. All these things, if not quite beyond dispute, are yet so nearly certain that no philosophy which rejects them can hope to stand. So the author is saying that man is bound to doom, to end, and despite all his intelligence, all his vigor, all his passion, all his intensity, death will inevitably happen. And every philosophy must agree to it, because if a philosophy does not agree to it, it has no chance to stand anywhere. Then author says, only within the scaffoldings of these truths, only on the firm foundation of unyielding despair, can the soul's habitation henceforth be safely built. Which means that we need to accept this truth of inevitable disaster, of inevitable doom, before we can actually talk about the habitation of soul. Let's look at our options. Option A says, in the teachings and tenets of philosophy. No, the teachings and tenets of philosophy is not the heaven where the residence of soul will be built. Within the understanding that man is doomed to fail, this understanding is required, but not within the understanding that man is doomed to fail, that the residence of soul can be built. Option C says, on a foundation of immediate and inevitable universal destruction. It may not be immediate, it might be inevitable but not immediate. Option D says, on a basis of universal ephemerality at the hands of unknown. That's exactly what passage talks about. Passage says that we need to understand that man is there only for some time, and that time in the larger picture is a very short time. And death and destruction will eventually happen, and there is no set cause for it. So option D is correct and the right answer for this question.